Hi there, this is Jim the Keys bartender coming to you from Key Largo. I am here with my good friend, Lee Sharp. Say hi, Lee, please.
What's up, everybody?
Hey, if you're an avid listener of the show, we got now a lot of new listeners too. I think we got listeners from London. Or it's one listener from London who listened to 12 episodes on Spreaker. I have, Lee, I have some difficulties with my statistics, finding out all the platforms people are listening to because I use have a production company that handles all my feeds, and my feeds, whenever I do it, I record on Spreaker, which is a podcasting app, and it goes out to iHeart, and I know what I get on iHeart and Spreaker, but I don't know what I get on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, podcast, all these other things. But so I know probably like a fraction, like 10% or less than 10% of what I'm getting. We get about, I think we're getting about 1,200 listeners a week. How's that sound?
That's great.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I don't see a problem as long as they're cool, man.
Is that well? There's no demographic that shows me whether they're cool or not. And
yeah,
since they're listening to track, yeah, I'm kind of uncool, so I'm hoping that the listeners are cooler than I am. But Lee, you've been a friend of mine. I met Lee when I was bartending at the Encore restaurant and bar in Key Largo, and you were playing the piano there and singing. And
yeah.
We've become, I'd say, close friends. But listeners, we don't talk much. We didn't talk about your origin. How long have you been down in the Keys? Let the listeners know. When?
Well, me, I've been almost living down here for 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
In September, so around September, late October. So a while.
Okay. Well, let's get your. You grew up in Memphis, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Give us a little background. What you're in Memphis? Were you always interested in music?
Well, it's kind of the music mecca of pretty much the world. Like there are more songs about Memphis that has Memphis in the name of in part of their songs than any other song in the world. And this is true. You would think it'd be about New York or Paris or LA or something. No, it's Memphis.
Okay.
So it's all around you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So my folks were, my dad especially was a singer. He used to sing with Sam Cooke a long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so many people that are there. You want to increase your knowledge about music and learn some 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and today. But also you have to have a little Beethoven in your pocket too.
Okay. So when you played a keyboard. Did you? You were brought up. You went to what was it, Christian Brothers? Whoa! What just happened?
Yeah, I went to a bunch of different schools. I can still hear you. Christian Brothers was one of them, and then I went to a performing arts school called Overton. Excuse my language, a bunch of badasses. So all I did was just learn and watch them and try to mimic what they did, and I developed my own kind of thing.
Oh, Overton Overton was a performing arts school.
Yeah, it was. If you wanted to learn, they had a wonderful choir program, arts program, dance, orchestral, band. It was just basically a bunch of school. It's a school that if you wanted to learn the other side of your brain, this is the school to go to.
Yeah. Okay. And I know you played a saxophone too, right? So what was your forte in high school? Where were you leaning towards?
It was definitely saxophone as far as instrumentally.
Uh-huh.
It was my first love, and I picked it up fairly well, and I learned piano a little bit afterwards because I realized I had a talent to sing.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't play saxophone and sing at the same time because that'd be really, really hard, and no one can do that at the same time. Is what I mean.
And that'd be kind of
So
cool though if someone could figure out like how to do that while they're doing it like Peter Frampton did with his guitar, making it.
well, I'm sure there's a way now.
Yeah.
It's called a vocoder.
Yeah. Now who's the guy?
And
Who's the guy with the bad hair who does the saxophone?
Kenny G.
Kenny G. Yeah. And,
Yeah. Well,
and the guy, and there was the guy in the Lost Boys too. Whoever that guy was.
he was in the Lost Boys.
You never saw the Lost Boys where they're having a party on the beach and there's some guy playing the sax, some guy, a
Oh
big,
yeah.
sweaty
He
guy.
didn't have a shirt on or
He
something.
had a shirt on and all that. Yeah.
Love that movie. Yeah, the name of that song was "I Still Believe." He didn't have a shirt.
Yeah.
But that's when saxophone was really popular. Like I think Rob Lowe played a saxophone player in what was the name of the movie, Jim? It was like early '80s. They were like the Brat Pack.
Who was playing it? Who was playing the saxophone? What movie?
Rob Lowe. I can't remember
St. Elmo's Fire.
That's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
had
a
Demi
whiz at
Moore.
movies, even though I can't remember watching the whole movie.
I've never seen the movie at all.
Yeah,
I
because
just saw Rob Lowe playing saxophone.
yeah, I was getting busy then. I wasn't watching Rat Pack or Brat Pack movies. So you gravitated towards the keyboard so you could engage your vocal talents.
Correct.
Yeah.
And it's just to me, and I can do it by myself, as
Yeah.
opposed to when I play saxophone. Normally, you need accompaniment.
Yep. You say that
You know.
easy. I would have a problem saying that. Yeah, there's a movie called Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Love it.
Yeah, and when they were trying to say a company, he plays guitar. Yeah, they couldn't.
It's right. Okay.
Yeah.
I
So
remember that.
so you're playing the keyboard and you're how would you characterize your music? You're more like soulful, bluesy country. What?
Well, I'm a little. I think I'm a little bit of everything because I literally enjoy everything, literally from Beethoven to Pantera. But just from being where I'm from, a little soul is going to come out. It's going to leak out whether I like it or not. So that's kind of the part of where I'm at. But I can also do a pretty darn good Metallica song. Also.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So
So
So I just get everything just like most people do, and it has to be put in a certain circumstance to where it can bridge all gaps, no matter if you're 80 or 20.
mm-hmm. And everything in between, right?
Everything in between.
Yeah. So you're in Memphis. You're now focusing on the keyboard and vocals, and you're playing. You started playing gigs around Memphis, right?
Well, Memphis and in the Florida Keys as well.
Oh, you started in Memphis though, and then you came down here 10 years ago.
Oh, correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what brought you down to Florida Keys? What was your connection?
Not really a connection. It was an ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
And yeah, and we all
That's the story,
one or
man.
another, but but that just got me to Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Florida's a big, long state, so I couldn't find any work in Delray Beach or Fort Lauderdale, so I found there was an opportunity in the Keys. Florida Keys, and you know, just stayed down here. I found a house to live in, and I haven't left really since.
So did you stay?
So,
You started in the Upper Keys, or were you down in Key West, or what?
I started in Amarada,
Okay.
and because it was closer to a gig, and I found a good deal on a home at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and everything was going great. Established myself because they don't know me at all. As you know, Jim, like the Florida Keys are a pretty tight community, and they don't like a lot of strangers all the time. But they do that. But once you're in,
Yep.
you're in. Seriously, people living elsewhere. If for instance, if someone breaks their leg and they can't do what they need to do, boom, there's a benefit for you.
Yep.
And help you get through those troubled times. And that's what I mean about community. It's awesome to have that, and for people to embrace, like,
Yeah.
into their fold,
Uh-huh.
like you, Jim.
Me?
So,
Am
Well,
I?
yeah.
Am I the guy with the broken leg?
no, but you might get a broken leg, and I guarantee God's a benefit for you
Yeah, I know.
for free.
I know. With one of those water skiing accidents, or my kite surfing into it.
Yeah, you could do that,
Yeah.
or you could be whatever you do in the morning. What's that called?
Masturbating.
That's not called
No,
cycling.
no. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about when I'm not in the shower.
Spinning.
Spinning, yeah. Well, if I got injured spinning, I would definitely. God, I think I might run away because it is a stationary bike league, and if you get injured doing something like that, then you should not. Jesus, it's just you shouldn't leave your house.
I understand.
Yeah, you could get injured going to the bathroom, then going to the refrigerator. I mean, you could pull a muscle pretty much, but almost anything else you do that wouldn't require anything you do. If you hurt yourself in spinning, then people say a heart attack, but if you're I'm an instructor, I shouldn't have a heart attack when I'm doing that. But who
Hopefully.
knows? Who knows?
No.
Okay. Oh, I digress. So you've been playing down here 10 years. You played a bunch of different gigs and stuff like that. And just like anybody else, I mean, how did this affect you right away? So it was March. Remember, I guess the ball started rolling in March. You started seeing things going on around, going south, and it was a matter of 2 weeks, right? Things started. We're in the middle of busy season, right?
Yeah.
You're playing gigs, and what do you start seeing like the first week of March, or are the gigs pulling back, or what's going on?
Mostly the gigs canceled,
When
to save money.
When did that start happening?
Well, I'll tell you, my last gig for sure was March 17th, and then
That was like
of 2020.
was that a Wednesday or something like that, or Tuesday?
It was a Monday.
It was Monday?
Yeah, and I showed up to my normal gig. I was going to show up to my normal performance on the Thursday, and they called me a couple of days before. Thank God. And they were like, "Yeah, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to shut down." And also the next day, on the Friday, our regular performance at Holiday Inn Resort. I actually went there. No one called me.
But then
I actually went there with all my stuff. And they're like, "Yeah, we're closed. The whole hotel is closed."
Yeah. Well, that was an order. The
but-
governor put through the order closing. There was.
Well, no one told me though.
Oh.
Sucked.
Oh man. Oh.
It was no fun.
Oh shit.
Um,
And you
when I could have
realized
been
that?
just
So they
sitting at
told you
home.
it was closed. What did you? Oh, so you're not really watching the news or anything like that. You have no idea what's going on.
Well, I knew they were going to close down some places, but I didn't know which ones they were going
Uh huh.
to be. So I was not okay. So I was not avidly watching the news.
Uh huh.
You're correct.
So
Only heard from word of mouth.
yeah, it's like, hey, everything's shut down. Like that's it. And so, what does a full time musician do when they're down? Like, would your routine start out?
Well, the routine was pretty sudden to me, at least. Like I just played in Naples, Florida, which is about 3 hours away, and I did a good job there. And I never really even been in Naples, so I was starting to realize going to a larger city that okay, this is gonna start getting real.
Mm-hmm.
And so I came back here and did 2 more gigs and 3 more gigs in 2 days, and then it just stopped. So now my routine is basically practicing when I can, because you have to keep your fingers up, and especially the harder songs, you have to keep those under your fingers, or else you'll lose them.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with doing anything else. If you don't exercise your voice and your fingers, you're going to come out bad on the other end. So I'll just practice a little bit here and there and binge watch movies.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to the movies soon, but do you learn a new song while you're at it? When you got this, do you work a new song?
I do.
Yeah.
I do. My goal is, since I really can't do anything, is to have a completely other 4-hour set. Well,
are you there?
anyway.
Okay.
And
Just so
I
we
am
missed
here.
a
Can you hear
little. We missed a little audio there. So you want to have another 4-hour set? You said.
Right, completely different than what I already play.
Mm-hmm.
So that can take a while, because it's to learn one song sometimes takes a long time.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand that a lot,
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I didn't write it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it takes, on a really complicated song, probably about a day, and I'm trying to get together another 200.
Yeah.
So. And still have the other ones in my back pocket, as well as writing as well.
So when you're and we're going to talk about writing. So I always wanted to know this, because it's not just learning a song. You got to make it your own, right? You got to use it for how it works with your voice and your timing and all that, right?
Correct.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
You're
Every
just
day.
not covering Michael McDonald from the Doobie Brothers, minute by minute. You have to rework that whole thing. So, or any let me pick one. Walking in Memphis, right?
Right.
Walking in Memphis. See, I did that. So,
And I'm from Memphis.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. That was one of your ones, your Memphis songs, and then you're writing. So you do that, and you write your own ones, which are, I guess, easier to learn if you're writing it yourself, right?
Well, it's my baby.
Yeah.
But also,
it's not easier to write. I'm not suggesting it's easier to write. I'm just saying when you're learning something and it's written by you for you, it's naturally plays to your strengths and your timing and everything like that.
Right, because it's mine.
Yes. Yeah. I just didn't want you to
whatever
miss
timing I want with my song.
Yes.
But when I'm covering other people's songs, because most people, I normally I'm a solo musician. Like when I was playing with you at Encore, it's just me and a piano.
Mm-hmm.
So in order for me to get across what a full band would kind of sound like by myself, it's fairly difficult. So you have to rearrange them.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't use backing tracks. Also, what they call a band in a box.
Yeah.
So I'm all over the place.
Uh huh. No, I know. There's, I
and I
know a
like
lot
it.
of guys do that. They put that in there to back themselves up. So
That's the easy way.
yeah,
I go straight forward,
yeah,
trying to make it, applicable to everyone. So
yeah,
I don't know. I like it like that.
yeah. Someday, if the show becomes successful, I'd like to commission you to write a song for the show, and it would have all the imagery of the boring old white guy theme I was talking about, or the jive turkey theme. But I would ask you to incorporate saltine crackers, mayonnaise, bad dancing, right?
What? I'm sorry, I didn't get the last part.
Bad dancing. Hey, it sounds like someone's cutting in almost. This is what I'm hearing sometimes, and it's not from either you or I. It's like we're picking up something.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
I'm not
pretty
sure.
strange. Yeah, we're picking up someone else's call, I think. Which
what are they talking about?
we're just getting small, short burst. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Nothing,
Gotcha.
and not even enough. We can discern a curse word, which would be awesome. But
Yeah, it would.
yeah, it would be. We live for stuff like that. I totally. We'll talk about that a little later. So, so how many hours a day are you spending on your music on like combined? Let's say on a busy day. Now.
Well, right now, I'm really trying to learn different songs, like I mentioned before, but I have to market test these songs. So I have to call like a friend. That's a girl.
Mm-hmm.
And ask those people, the ones that are going to come see the performances, what would you think about this? What would you think about that? Like, for instance, I call my friend Kelly Hershey, and over at Blackwater Siren, and I was like, okay, when you guys open back up, what is a song that you would want me to do for you?
Mm-hmm.
And she mentioned a Nat King Cole song. It's called Smile. I've never heard the song before.
Oh,
And-
just smile, smile though your heart is breaking. Smile. Oh man, that's a beautiful song.
I don't know yet. I don't know it yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now that you sing it, now I can probably hear it now.
Yeah, yeah.
But she
Smile
said that
so
was
your
a
heart
song
is
that she
breaking.
could hear.
Smile to your, it's a classic. It's a classic Nat King Cole song. But
Okay.
yeah,
And I play piano, so I should probably know a couple of Nat King Cole songs. They
Yeah.
have that ready to go.
yeah.
You know,
I'd have you do a Pearl Jam thing, man.
I can do Pearl Jam right now.
Oh yeah, you could do like. Can you put
Well-
old lady behind a counter in a small town?
I don't know that song. What is
Yeah.
that song called?
That's what it's called. Old woman behind a counter
See,
in a small town. I know it's one of its best songs too. It's a weird title. Weird.
no,
title.
that's how all those complicated writers used to do in the '90s.
yeah,
but-
yeah.
Like Smells Like Teen Spirit or
Well, yeah.
Bullets and Butterflies.
Well,
It doesn't
that
say
smells like Teen Spirit.
That whole phrase.
That
in the
would be
whole
a
song.
hard. That would be such a hard song to do though on a keyboard because it was such driven by the guitar. Dun, dun, dun. You know what I mean? You could play it because
I actually do that song.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's brilliant.
Once again, you have to rework it.
Yeah, yeah. And
have to
just
work
like
it
they did
for
it,
piano.
I think I'm going to pick a show out. HBO. Did you watch any of Westworld?
I should. I watched a little bit of it. but
Okay,
now
let
they're
me
on
explain
season 3,
something.
so I
The
can
first season, okay, Westworld, right? Forget about the plot line of the story, okay? Forget about the plot line. The soundtrack of
Right.
Westworld is they use the old West upright piano. You know the upright piano, the style, how they used to play back
Uh-huh.
then? And they
Yeah,
reworked
like Honky Tonky.
Mm.
Ragtime.
for that time. It's not
Right.
Honky Tonk. It was but what happened? It's kind of like just like this country, not country. It's not even country western. It's from the way they play it, and they rework contemporary songs into that. You listen to it. and
Oh,
it's
that's fine.
And you go like
That's
this,
awesome.
and you go like this, and you go, oh, that's Green Day, or that's so and so, and you go like this, and they're playing it, and they're playing Green Day, and you don't even know it. And since it's set in the future, like 30, 40 years in the future,
Right.
people really don't know. They go, well, this song could have been at that time. And you're listening to it, you go, oh, wow, that's really hard. And matter of fact, one of the main characters, she does what does she sing? She sings a song. Oh, God. She sang a song. It's kind of a spoof reel for season 2. And the main character, and she sang it. And she actually has a beautiful voice. But it was a cover in that style. And people go, wow. You know, we're so used to, I get all these things back in the late 80s and 90s. Karaoke came about. And in karaoke, people are just covering the same style of singing and the music. Right. And someone you sound just like Janis Joplin. You know who sounded great as Janis Joplin? Janis Joplin did. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I'm like, sounding like Frank Sinatra. I mean, I think once you're like, you sound like, and someday we're gonna have you get we'll get that audio file on the show because this is the only time you're going to be on. We'll get that and we'll play it because you sound like Lee Sharp. You don't sound like anybody else, and it's a beautiful sound. Since we're going to be doing more than this show, I just wanted to give you a nice intro and get that. So we'll probably can, every show we could do a little more reveal about you, but.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you said you've been binge watching TV, and you mentioned Netflix, but it's not just Netflix. Well, what did you get? What did you get into?
Okay, well, it's been a month, so ahead and finished Ozark, which was great.
I started watching that. I can't watch too much of it because it gets a little depressing.
It is depressing.
I have a family I gotta be up for, but it is excellent. I just parse it out with other things. So okay, Ozark, you're right.
What's so funny is that I was going to be in the Netflix movie that was recorded on here, Bloodline.
Oh.
Yeah, I was going to be a featured artist, getting artist pay.
Yeah.
But I declined it, and then I finally started watching. I didn't even know they had a season 3.
Yeah.
Until like literally a week ago. So I finished watching that, and I kind of want to do the theme song to that song.
Yeah.
One day.
Yeah. I have to be true to you about Bloodline. I have to be real. It didn't do it for me.
It didn't do what? I'm sorry.
The show didn't do it for me. Bloodline.
I agree. That's why I stopped.
Yeah.
At first,
but it would have been a great opportunity.
Hey,
listen! I swear to God, if I was offered a bit part in that, I would have jumped at it. I would have jumped.
Well,
at it.
It wasn't because I'm not really familiar about how it works when you're doing a movie with.
Oh, perfect.
In this town.
Yeah.
So everyone that was extra, there were extras. You couldn't see their face. Everything was blurred out.
Uh-huh.
So if something bad happened at like one particular bar, because all they do is drink in the show, and something bad went down, they wouldn't the bar that they were always hanging out in.
Yeah, Whistle Stop. You did the Whistle Stop a lot, right?
They did the Whistle Stop.
And Caribbean Club.
Yeah, and they also did OV, Ocean View. But you could never see the name of it. You could see Caribbean Club. They were proud of it. Mm-hmm. They're cool being a hole in the wall, and some bad stuff can go down there, but some great stuff goes down there too.
Yeah.
They didn't care.
Just like hey, great stuff goes down there. Just like some great stuff goes down at the Asian Massage Parlor at mile marker 103.5.
I don't know where that is. I'm sorry, sir.
You know where it is.
I don't.
Okay, we'll move on from
I've
there.
only heard rumors
Okay,
about
okay,
Asian.
okay. You didn't ask for a number 14, right? You don't know what that is?
So, how you doing, Jim?
No, I'm just kidding. I didn't. No. Oh, did I?
Hey,
I was just joking. I was just joking, and
uh-huh.
I didn't. It's funny that the reason I thought of that is that when, on a regular basis, since this stuff happened, I went and purchased an inexpensive bike, one of those, the U-Haul place right north of Adams Cut on Route 1. There's a U-Haul place, and there's a place that sells a really old guy. I mean, older than I am. He has all these bikes. He has like 100 bikes, all used bikes, and I went and bought one. And people are looking at it. It looks like a $60 bike, really does, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it rides like a $200 bike. And that's what I wanted. That's what I wanted because it's not the first bike. No one's going to come up and look at this bike and steal it. No one's going to steal this bike. No one's going to steal it. See, hey, that weird sound effect just came on again. No one's going to steal this bike. So I've been riding this bike with Abby and stuff, and I go out by myself. But I rode up past the Lover's Boutique, and you have an interesting story about that. But the Lover's Boutique is open right now. The Lover's Boutique.
Really?
Yep, it's open.
I might just take a special trip up there.
Yep. Well, are we allowed to talk about it?
We can talk about whatever you like, sir.
No, I don't want to put you on the spot right there. So originally, when you first came down here, you happened to find yourself in there, and you were talking to either the manager or the owner. And
yeah, it was the owner. And I didn't have a job, so I went in there with my ex-girlfriend.
I missed a little audio
for Halloween and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have a great. You know what? A weird thing about the the Lover's Boutique is that they have the best selection of costumes in the Keys.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, and not just the nurse costume and the nun costume, and all that stuff, the sexy Girl Scout costume. Regular costumes, So
they had a nice selection, spent hours in there, and we may or may not have picked up a couple of side things while we were there.
Mm-hmm.
But I really didn't have a job, and I just said jokingly to so I was like, "Hey, what if I apply for a job here?"
Mm-hmm.
And the owner came up and he was like, "Okay." I talked to him for a little bit. He was like, "Show up here tomorrow at 8."
Yeah.
In the morning. And so I was like, "Great! I found a job." But the backlash of that is when I got home, she didn't really working at a Lover's Boutique kind of area.
She didn't like that?
No, she thought it was funny at first. Of course, we both did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But $8 an hour is more than $0 an hour, so I was going to try and do whatever.
Were they going to give commission? Do you get commission or anything with that?
You know what? We didn't even talk about that. We didn't talk about that at all.
$8 an hour. Shit.
If that was the case, then store in order to make commission.
I mean,
but that didn't happen, and so I also applied at several gentlemen's clubs.
Yeah.
As a bartender, and that got shut down also by the girlfriend.
That one would be yeah. That would have been. I can see what I mean. She's. I almost. I had a girl who asked me if I would be her driver before.
Oh, sweet.
You know, she was a adult entertainer for parties.
Okay. I understand.
Yeah,
I understand.
and and it turned out she wanted me to be more of a, her business agent. You know what I'm saying?
More of a what? I'm sorry.
A business agent.
Aha.
You know. So
Does it
I
start
guess.
with a P
Yep.
and an N with an M?
No, it starts with a P and ends with a P. Pimp.
Right.
P-I-M-P.
Okay. I understand.
Oh, and with an
Okay.
amp. And yeah. Oh,
N with
use
an
it.
M.
Amp. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
It does. And so no, I turned that down. And that's when I was single, so because it wasn't my dream of. But it would have definitely made me a more interesting person. I guess I couldn't be the. Well, you know what? I guess if someone asked me to be their business agent, as that catapults me out of the boring old white guy thing. Because not too many boring old white guys ever got.
Well,
right? I'm there.
I mean, your management, you can really do what you want in that kind of a white guy thing. You're managing the your ladies or guys. I don't know what they were asking you to do.
I know that'd be funny, kind of doing it
But,
like one of those country club tennis pro guys that could have dressed up with a polo shirt, the popped up collar, Docksiders, brightly colored tennis shorts. You know, holding my jaw stiff.
That's you.
No.
That's you all the way.
Oh my God.
Maybe a pair of golf clubs in the back seat. I don't know.
Yep, that would be my whole shtick I would have. But I tried to. It's funny that you mentioned when we mentioned the Lovers Boutique. I tried to do a show from there, but I think they were scared off by. By some of the antics of my one of my co-hosts. He wanted to use some of the. He wanted to sample some of the equipment there.
Oh.
He said he would do it on
I
air.
could take a guess, and I'd probably be right who that person was. But hey, my lips are sealed.
No, you can say it. He said it on air. What's your guess?
Oh, I would say Luke Glimp.
Yes, it was.
Okay, making sure.
It was him.
Um,
It was a butt
see?
plug.
Hey, y'all,
It
first
was
guess.
funny. I had to explain to him that it's probably something they wouldn't want people to use in return. Electric butt plugs or anything like that.
Probably not.
Mm-hmm. It's funny.
I don't know. Maybe if you boil it in some water or something, really hot water, probably get most of the stank out of there.
You could, but would they repackage it? Would it be misleading, or would it be in the slightly used or the lovingly used section?
Right. It would be. Yeah. It would be slightly used for sure. But if you're buying stuff like that, do you really care
I think you would.
that much?
Or what if you're in the experimental phase? You don't want anything someone used before. Him.
Well, what if you don't know if you're going to like it in the first place? You're just like, okay, well, I'll just buy this real quick, and if I like it, I'll upgrade into a larger model. I don't know how it works, man.
Trade-ins.
I didn't work there.
Trade-ins don't work. Man, that would be embarrassing. But that's we've almost wasted. We wasted the whole time here talking of. We didn't waste. It wasn't a waste of time, but
No, I don't think so.
no. So normally at this time we'd be talking about where your next gig is.
Yeah.
I'd be pushing the Catch restaurant and bar in Key Largo. Hopefully, will still be open. It'll be open at mile marker 102 on the highway on the ocean side, where they have happy hour Monday through Friday, 3:30 to 6:30.
Some of the best food on the islands.
Yep, you do your cook, your catch, and stuff like that. And I'm there a bunch of days. And you would be pitching your next gig, but which we can do when that's coming up. You know, I have an affiliated a wine sponsor called Bellissima. It's on my. If they go to www.keysbartender.com, there's a, if you go to sponsors, there's a link for Bellissima wines. It's a sparkling white wine, organic, also Prosecco, and it's Christy Brinkley's vineyard. It's her stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Billy Joel's ex-wife?
Yep.
Nice.
She was a supermodel. You know? A supermodel. It's funny. It's like they really didn't have any superpowers except extracting, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars for walking around in other people's clothes, which is a superpower.
You're correct.
It is a superpower. I would like to do that. Just, you know, hey, listen, here you go. I'm going to wear your clothes. I'm going to walk up this aisle and pretend like I really don't want to be here. Because that's really what they're doing. You know that.
They don't feel like that you're worthy.
No.
They're like, yeah, this is my dress.
Yep, and I don't really. They wear it. I wear it with disdain. I don't really. They made me wear this, and I don't really care to be here, and I don't care who you are. I'm just walking out here. Take a look at me, and turn around. I'm a little angry. I may have had something to eat. Maybe I need something to eat. Who knows? Oh, don't even think about asking me out for a drink. There's a whole bunch. You can see.
They've already been drinking.
Yeah, and I got all the best drugs. Who knows? So, I haven't been drinking.
Well, they have to hurry up. They have to. I know you haven't.
No. What I'm saying is like, I normally, you know, this thing is. I told you I was doing some remote shows before. I never mentioned it to you. I did one show that my co-host at the time had to actually turn it off for me because I was so intoxicated.
Yeah.
I didn't even know I didn't know how to do it. And then I just look at the end and I just deleted the whole thing. He was so pissed off. He was so pissed off. I said, what did you do? I said, I deleted it. It was horrible. He goes, yeah, but I did some of my funniest stuff here. I said, yeah, but I was drunk and I'm not going to, you know, it was embarrassing. I wish I saved it. I wish I had saved it.
I'm sure it's somewhere.
No, it's expunged. Maybe it is. Maybe it's right on here.
Yeah.
Maybe you're right. It could be on my laptop here. I mean,
it never goes away, man.
Never. Well, you know what? I did I did a cruise cast. I was on a cruise thing, and they gave me a bunch of free stuff for it too. That was pretty cool. Free Wi-Fi, some kind of gave me some special treatment on the cruise. You know, like I got the cruise director and I did a 45-minute sit down. He was really good too. This young black dude, he was like 30 years old or late 20s, early 30s, and it was really cool and he's funny. And shit, man, the stuff just disappeared. The whole recording disappeared. We had a great repartee. Oh, that kills me. That was the one that got away. Not the guy. Don't get me wrong. I'm talking about the thing. But it's not. I understand. And listen, I have never lost one of ours. Yours and mine. So.
Good enough.
Yeah, which is good, right?
That's all that really matters, I guess.
Yeah, that's important. It's important. So, we reached the end. Is there anything you want to? Is there anything you want to promote right now? Do you have a website? Oh, is it? How can people get? You know, there's people going to be coming. Eventually, when we get out of this, we're going to want entertainment. So, you'd be perfect.
Absolutely, all genres. Pretty much all genres. You can find me at. I'm currently redoing my website, but it's still the original one is still up. It's at Lee, Lee, Sharp, SHARP, music.com. So it's just my name, Lee Sharp Music, .com, and you can see my pictures and a couple of little clips of, like, you know, me singing Purple Rain or by Prince, or like a Police song, or Elton John song. So it has a couple of those things on there. Upgrading it pretty much starting that tomorrow. So
will it be the same?
also-
Will it be the same? It'll be the same. It'll be on the same. You're just updating the current website, right?
Correct.
Okay. What I'll do is I'll put it in.
it'll
I'll
be
put
the
it in the
same
show
thing.
notes. I'll put it in the show notes where people can get on. But if you didn't quite catch that address, I'll put it in the show notes for here. You just send it text message to me, Lee, so I get it right, and I'll post it in the show notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done deal.
Yeah.
Once again, to everyone listening in London, hire me for a gig. I do weddings, parties, bar mitzvahs, or any of the mitzvahs, really. I can do a bar and a bar.
Yeah. A bat.
I'll hook you
a
up.
bat mitzvah, I think it's called.
Bat mitzvah, that's what it is. My bad. See?
Bat mitzvah.
And
Hey, I should know.
Once again-
I am Irish Catholic, so.
so you know everything.
No, I don't. No, I'm just saying it.
Good thing.
I'm just saying it's. I'm not an authority on it. Why would it? Because I was
Right.
sarcastic.
But also, as far as the site is concerned, also the name of my company is Lee Sharp. I'm sorry, Sharks and Flats Entertainment.
I was going to correct you.
So whether you want solo, duo, trio, full band, I can even get you a DJ, flowers, an awesome chef
Wow.
for your big day, and also could even get you a fire dancer. No
And,
joke.
you could get him. You can get a wedding officiant, because you know a wedding
Absolutely.
officiant, right? You do know a wedding officiant, right?
Yeah, and
What's
and
his
it might
name?
be you.
Yeah, it's me. Well, we could podcast
Yeah.
your wedding. We'll podcast your wedding.
Done.
And we'll do a live one. We'll do a 3-hour recording of your wedding live, and we'll get it sponsored by. Why not the Lovers Boutique? Why not? You know?
I don't know. Or,
Every-
or maybe your wine company, Bella, what was it called again? I'm sorry.
Bellissima.
Bellissima
B-E-L-L-
means beautiful.
BELLISSMA. Bellissima. But they can go to www.keysbartender.com and go to the sponsors section, and you can find a link there. But, it could be like something like every kiss begins with K, and every dildo begins with dill, or I don't know how, be something. And you're going to be working on the white guy theme, right? Boring or something. Jim Horan, and he's something along the themes. And maybe he's not.
And I can talk like a white guy at some point, and I can definitely write a song like a white person. No offense to all the white people out there.
But make it kind of boring, uncool, as uncool as possible. Not that you'd be uncool. The idea behind it is the guy is uncool. You know what I mean?
Jim, I think that you are very cool.
Oh, thank you. I know, but I
So-
think it would be funny. Well, part of the thing, if
He said he knows.
if I was really uncool, I probably wouldn't be saying that. I would be afraid. What would you call it? Self-affecting or self-effacing?
You'd be humble.
Yeah.
Self-debasing. Okay.
Self-effacing.
Gotcha.
EFFACING, not self-debasing. That's more of a inferiority complex. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Self-effacing means you're willing to laugh at yourself, but you're not taking it too much to heart.
I do that all the time.
Yeah.
No one's perfect.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, well, next time we skip the whole thing I was going to do. The title of the show was supposed to be, it's going to be Meet Lee Sharp. We'll just do Meet Lee Sharp. That'll be the title. That's what it is.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah, but I'm going to spell meat M-E-A-T. No, M-E-E-T. How's that?
N-E-E-T. Neat. Oh, yeah. M-E-E-T. Yeah. Fuck. Yeah, that works.
Yeah. You had to think about it. I'm not going to do anything.
Yeah, it took me a second. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to thank you, Lee, and we'll I'm going to keep you on, and then we'll sign off together. Okay. Is there any words you think?
Okay.
I'm going to play the music. Is there anything that can? I'll start playing it now. Let me turn the music down, and then I'll bring it on. There. Wait. There's no way to really sing during this, is there?
I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
I don't think I can.
Well, how about if I... Oh, it's only coming through my earphones.
Aha.
Wait, maybe if I... Do you hear it now?
It sounds like some smooth jazz or something.
Do you hear it?
Not really. It sounds like some smooth jazz or something that you would hear in the elevator. And that's the song I'm going to do for you.
It's like a boring white guy, right?
I'm just saying.
Oh, yeah?
I could definitely do some elevator music for sure.
And saltines. And I can't sing. Okay. I'm going to bring that down. Talk to you later, Lee.
All right. Thanks for having me, and thanks to everybody out there listening, okay?
Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, everyone.
Breathe.